Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel, and in this one we have Nocturne. Now normally I wouldn't do champions so close together. I'd like to keep somewhat diversity while we look at strong picks and, you know, get some of those off metas like Trundle in some videos, but Stridebreaker has broken him. Has broken Nocturne. Stridebreaker, double the HP. Now we have a 90% slow active instead of that dash, so while Darius cries, Nocturne thrives. And he thrives instead of with fleet footwork. You can still go fleet footwork, obviously, the increased, fleet footwork, lethal tempo. You can thrive with that as well, but the Conqueror rune set in combination with the Bruiser nature means you're one-shotting people. You're getting sustained healing and damage throughout elongated fights. And of course, you have a lot of HP and a 90% slow. So once you ult someone, basically, as long as you activate that tether is not avoidable. You are doomed. So we're going to see how it plays out. We have a Grandmaster create game here. You would have seen the full runes on your screen. The rest is pretty much the same. Ultimate Hunter, obviously. You know, you got a semi-global with a lot of range. That's what we want. He is starting on the blue side into the Gromp by himself. He'll get a lot of healing back here from the Gromp. A little slower, obviously, without a leash, but I don't foresee that being an issue. He is against Rumble, who was nerfed. Again, movement speed down on that W also. So map mobility should be shifted slightly, the clear should be impacted slightly, but the pick overall should still be solid, you know, in high elo specifically. The win rate is down though. In organized play, you can understand why it would be good with a setup, but in solo queue it's never been as effective. Now, we've got a ping here, basically from the Rumble, anticipating where the Nocturne is. We know that the Rumble started on the bottom side. Rumble should, in theory, sequence to the top side. I don't anticipate an invade yesterday like the Trundle. That makes sense, because Trundle, you're just going to walk in and kill people. You can't clear as fast. Rumble still can. And I don't think anyone really wants to fight a Nocturne right now. In terms of lanes, we have here an Aphelios Senna. Aphelios can turn things, right? But Senna, if she doesn't have Flash, and perhaps her exhaust is down, that's just an absolute free kill. So maybe some pre-6 gankings here to sort of get her down. Obviously the E will allow her to escape. You're seeing pings come through from both junglers. This is now absolutely standard stuff. I anticipate the Rumble might even do a full clear as I say that he's on the crab. Good. Good, you know, if you're slow with your clears, especially now, you can get that 5 camp and get onto the map before the full clear is completed by the enemy jungler. Zoe, brilliant. No, I thought you were just kiting down to avoid the top gank. No, she's warding. I don't think we needed to do that. But I think hovering the bottom side of the lane obviously is logical. I don't think we needed to ward whatsoever. Could have saved that, but the hover on the right side was great because you know your jungler's here, you have support, and if the enemy jungler decides to 5 camp gank before your Nocturne's finished with the crab, you know Rumble's here. So now Nocturne, let's have a look. As I said, let's get a pre-gank here. Oh, come on. Love it. Okay, the tether fear goes through as well, the fear tether, if you will. Both sums burned. Now Senna flashes for a kill. Can say I would honestly do the same thing. Hits another W, but Nocturne finishes that up. Beautiful. Beautiful. If this happens in high elo career, right? If this happens in high elo career, don't tell me you can't gank bottom lane after the crab, because the Rumble has no real choice. He should have reset into his Gromp. There you go. Interestingly, he didn't do this. If you know both junglers are sequencing down, I guess the only downside here is that they didn't know exactly where the Nocturne started, but most likely a solo start will be on the blue side. But the Rumble played it safe, the 5 camp into the crab, I like it. I think it's a great play. But if you get nothing, and you don't have the right gank assessments, right, you are now significantly behind in terms of map tempo. Now, he's ahead in terms of experience and gold, and people always confuse this. Well, he's getting his second tier Gromp, Wolves, Raptors way before the Nocturne. Yeah, but now he's going to do these as a level 1. And if the Camille wards, great. Well, see, this is a good ward. It doesn't matter because top laners have no discipline. She goes in and trades as the Rumble is sequencing upside again. This is pretty obvious. Now, the Nocturne, as you can see on the minimap, is rotating here. Can he snipe something? Yes, he can. And LeBlanc is rotating. We can use our spell shield to try and get out here. The LeBlanc is holding her spells as much as she can, but she's obviously used some. There you go. That's what she wants. So maybe he used the spell shield a little too soon. LeBlanc, skillful champion. But this is good by her. This is good by her. Those ethereal chains, if you hit them, some of the greatest CC to gank for. It just lays it out nicely. This was really interesting, this whole sequence, though. While they push that wave out, you know, Nocturne does a full clear crab gank, resets, and he's going to do the same thing. The Rumble does a 5 camp because he's slower to cut the crab, look for a gank mid lane before the Nocturne is able to do anything about it. Doesn't get anything because the Zoe hovers the right side of the lane. There's nothing else for him to do. He resets. Now he already starts Grump, Wolves, and he could go Raptors, Krugs top, or he could cut through and do top before he does the top quadrant, which is what he did. And it caught the Camille by surprise, although she should have anticipated him being on the top side. The Nocturne then reacted, got to kill himself. The LeBlanc roamed mid lane gap and basically neutralized everything. So literally, 3-3, equal gold pretty much, almost, down a few hundred. But the Nocturne is 2-1, and now he's ahead on CS. Because he took his top side camps, he can afford to go back to base, bottom side, hits level 6, and as I said, Senna without flash is free food. And at this point, we don't exactly know what the Rumble's pathing would have been, but it seems like he chose to go back to the top side and give up his blue camps. The Nocturne is feeling like he wants to go hunting for ADCs, which is what you want to do as Nocturne. Now, he's strong anyway. He doesn't need the Stridebreaker to be strong. Now, I'm curious, would the Rumble decide to contest this? Probably not. Or would he go and just rather look mid lane or just counter jungle here? We don't actually know just yet. There we go. Okay, now we do. Now we do. So he's doing the crab. He can look to do this. That vision, again, great vision by Camille. She should respect it this time, I hope. And then Nocturne can flex that straight into a dragon, should he desire. Which he should. Well, it doesn't show up on the timeline, so are we being bamboozled? We are not. The timeline is lying to us. And obviously here, again, that's where Rumble's strong. But the Nocturne decides, instead of going to his red buff, because he stole the blue, he stole the Grump, he could have actually gone bottom lane here. But bottom lane are not 6, and they are 6. So maybe it's a bit more risky. He's going to go for the alpha move just to cut through into the red. He's just going to take this. This is really risky, by the way. I like it from an alpha perspective. If your champion's broken, you can do this. But I'm not entirely sure. I mean, this is maybe Korean strategy. If your bottom lane is 6 after Drake, and you see this happen by the Rumble, I know we want this, so that's where you might anticipate Rumble falls back down to it if he has resources available. Or you could look to snowball bottom lane a bit more, but if they're low on mana, gold, and haven't reset, then I think we can go straight for this as well. It's a nice cut through. Control ward giving a lot of value here as well. Rumble reset after that. So he lost his red. He's seen bottom side. We know at this point that the Nocturne did not take his own red and then sequenced up to the Rumble. So the Rumble could return by taking the Nocturne's red, Krugs, Raptors, maybe all of it, and then just ulting bottom lane again. But let's see if he does that. Let's see if he does that. I would assume so. I mean, then the Nocturne can respond by just taking all of this. He's giving up a lot of counter jungling, but it's forcing the Rumble to do these things, right? Like, the Rumble isn't making these decisions. He didn't. He just did the crab to a gank, knowing that the Nocturne is here. Brilliant. That's what tempo control looks like. Now, you might think, hey, Rumble was supposed to the gank. He has tempo. No. Who made him go to the gank? His choices were completely decided by the Nocturne. Because Nocturne did things, the Rumble's decisions were reduced to 2 choices that were acceptable to the Nocturne. You may take my red, and if you decide to gank red at bottom mid lane instead, I have my ult available, and I will give you darkness. Now we have Stridebreaker completed, and obviously the movement speed passive on this is huge as well. So the next time he has ult, we should hopefully see the activation protocol. Now I like this a lot. I like this a lot. Out of base, after a nice play, don't go farm your red side. Don't go farming. Just hover. Just hover. You know? And go for a gank straight up. Lock him down. Fear tether. We activated the Stridebreaker. We did not need it. Unspeakable horror. Is fear tether the right word? It is, yeah. I like this though. There's a Hecarim player. The Hecarim player that I covered, one of the best in the world at Hecarim. Korea, 1200 OP perma. He likes to do this a lot. He'll make these map plays. He'll make these map plays and then just go straight top lane. LeBlanc rotating bottom lane. We kind of left our bottom lane. I feel like the dragon play, you know, we could have done something, but he's just going to solo carry this game, I think. Yeah, as expected. The Zoe isn't really participating, is she? He could have helped push. He could have helped the Camille push this out because we don't exactly know where the Rumble would go after death. I mean, at that point, camps are up on both sides, and it's his decision. You know, there's no objectives. It's his decision. Ult is up. Stridebreaker is available. They have no flash, so it's not like they need it. So what you can do as well as you see there, okay? I like the control ward, very skillful. TP from the Lee Sin. He flashes back in, but gets, oh. Okay. That was a lot of movement speed. Nice CB response from the Camille. Okay, let's look at that again. So I can finish my thought. So here he's gonna ult, right? Now, if he has no flash and heal, which it looks like he does not, okay? You can use your fear and then use the slow as well. So it works as like a stacking CC on a champion that already has a long fear tether. Now here, it will be up again, right? The cooldown is very low. So he flashes in, he gets the tether as well as his Q movement speed, and he has this available if he needs to chase down further. I don't know what to tell you. He's so tanky. That 400 HP is absolutely nuts. 90% decay over 3 seconds. The HP just gave him everything he needed. The slow, stacked with the fear, gave him everything he needed, and the movement speed, obviously, from his Q max. It's strong. And you can block spells, you know? You've got this as well. That's huge. Obviously, you have to time it correctly against things like LeBlanc, or you're doomed. Things like Lux and Senna are not the same kind of mechanical in terms of those using that spell shield. But I don't know. If a champion has CC and you ult in, and the only open hell they have is CCing you, that's where that spell shield just makes you absolutely unkillable, which was the subject of the last one. Back to base, we've got the Executioner's calling. I suppose, yeah, I mean, you got multiple, you got Shieldbow, you got Senna, you've got the Lee Sin as well, so it'll give you some value. Ionic Bits of Lucidity, we push mid lane. The Herald now is being supremely delayed, but definitely we want to use it here for plates. I think it was expiring. And then we can use that for Dragon Prior. Now I'm looking, his ult is up. Yeah, good flash, Rumble. That was... That's disgusting. The Rumble, I mean, you walk too close, his ult's up, he has Sophia, he has Stridebreaker, you're doomed. Like, he couldn't even flash out of the way. He flashed and it still went through. Which is exactly what you're looking for. It's exactly what you're looking for. Shove this, okay, take all his stuff if it's available. That's how you snowball a lead, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you snowball a lead. This play. I'm gonna cover it again in a second. Right, no flash still in there, Felios. We're really tanky. Okay, we have Conqueror also. We have Lulu ult also. Play it. Because either him or Stridebreaker, they're getting nerfed. I guarantee it. 3-way flex pick that can do this, beautiful. But this is exactly how you carry games. Get your cleared tempo, force him to make decisions. You know, go counter jungling, which forces him to go top lane, that's fine. Cut through, take this. He makes this play, you counter gank it. And now a few other events obviously happened. You gank top, you gank bot. We ganked every lane as Nocturne, which is what we wanted to do. And then you use your Herald mid lane. If they disrespect you, show them the darkness, and then take the tower. But once you've broken this mid tower, is where a lot of junglers lose their mind, as Rumble and LeBlanc again go topside. They don't do this. They kind of fall back to their own jungle camps. If you do this after taking mid lane tower, shame on you. Ring the bell. Because push, take if available, gank if pushing, take the objective. Reset. And now you can defend your camps here because you're super fed and no one can beat you 1v1. Okay? Or you can go bottom side and kill them again if there's nothing top side. Second Herald is spawning as well. Hi. If you get caught and you don't have a mobility spell or flash, it's all over. It's all over. Really, he's just carrying this game. I mean, it's not like you can say every lane is... Great TP from the Camille, but she died multiple times to warded by herself ganks. Brilliant. Now, I understand I'm speaking kind of quickly in this video, because there's a lot to process. He's playing with a high speed, getting everything. It's a nice total carry game. Broken champion, broken item, juggling well. It's like your trifecta for victory and your trifecta for LP games. His ult's up. Good night. It's so fun to watch. It's not fun to face, I can guarantee it. But it's fun to watch. Little mana heavy though. This is warded, sir. Please, could you clear this? In the interest of... If Lulu... Yeah, okay. She's putting that down because this can always be cleared afterwards, but you kind of want to use your scanner to get any kind of green wards down and cleared, and then you can go back and clear the control ward. Raptors into Krugs for perfect sequencing. Rumble and LeBlanc again having some fun. He can now rotate to counter this. He does have Herald as well. Zoe kills the Lee Sin, who's now basically feeding. Mid lane's mid lane. Should be a standard closeout. Here you can farm a little bit. I don't begrudge those, the desire to farm. Altars up, die. Ah! He has no mana. He went in with no... He has no mana! He went in with no mana. But it will be up again shortly. What's the CDR now? 56 seconds. Bye, bottom lane. Sorry to debate you, but bye. Yeah, I don't think he should have altered that. But we did burn the flash, right? You burn the flash in the Aphelios, which means... Nerfed, huh? It was nerfed. Q in the Yoda meme, you know? Where he's thinking and nodding his head while staring at Luke. That's what's happening to me, staring at that Divine Sundra, Lulu, Ezra. Bottom lane, whichever I have in my game, I weep. Now I want to talk about an Opeth song, Under the Weeping Moon. All the references this video, all the references. So here you got bonus 1100 damage to champions as well. And now again, we take our blue side. There's no camps to farm whatsoever. There's no objectives. We're waiting for our team to join us. Go into the jungle, control the vision. If someone's splitting, you just isolate and kill them. She's most likely basing, guys. No, no, she's not. Hey. Well, she didn't even bother to try. She just accepted her fate. Next objective is the third one. You could split top lane, but I think we should steal camps and go down to the dragon. Let Zoe handle that. Activate the Herald. It's not the best Herald, but it's fine. Actually, it's a really good Herald, never mind. We just want to bust open the gates here. You don't want to give him too much. The Rumble's just... I think the Rumble's just doing what I see most of Rumbles do now, is they just sit over walls and ult. And it does a lot of damage, but if you can't actually fight anyone... Stopwatch from the GA. He does have Black Cleaver as well. That got buffed also, in compensation for the movement speed nerf. So, the guy has 2,400 HP and 254 AD. You know, and that's an ace. And they kill people mid lane, so... It's that easy. An early inhib here is fine. My bad. Wait. Alright, there we go. Sorry. An early inhib here is fine, provided you are also a scaling team comp. If you're an early game team comp and you have total control, good night. If you have a scaling team comp, and this is fine because they're going to get fed on the stuff, but you're going to scale yourselves and you're going to get the third dragon, you're going to take everything, you can force the Baron, there's no concern. But in early game team comps, if you take this early inhib and you push too much, where you end up dying and giving shutdowns, you just swing the pendulum in the other direction. And it can cause the enemy team, which scales and outscales you, to sort of be able to go fist to fist with you in a 5v5 and a 3v3. And that's where you start to throw games. So if you have everyone that's ready to sort of end the game and you have just such a huge lead, take that inhib, take your dragons, and just straight down. Rumble is in the jungle. Yesterday, Trundle was in the jungle. And Nocturne's in your soul. Out of base, GA completed. Great item if you are really far ahead and you just want to close. Because they might have enough to kill you in one rotation, but there's no way in hell they have enough to kill you in the second rotation. Ult is up, Rumble's out of place. That was really weird looking. That was really weird looking, but you know, stranger things have happened. Lee Sin hits a kick, misses the Q, not that it would have done anything anyway. We can just go in, you know. There's no ways they kill you with Black Cleaver as well as GA. This is GG bait, pretty much. Yeah. Ezreal isn't even in this fight. He's over there just chilling. Camille did a good job. You know, she got a little bit camped. But she had a nice counter TP at the bottom side. And she's done a very good job pushing towers. She made the Lee Sin look like he's inting. And there's your GA, right? You can just dive if your team helps you out. And now you're back. There's no ways they can deal with you. Perfect. Perfect game by Nocturne. Nice atomization here because of the Ezreal as well as the Camille, as well as yourself, basically. Just the armor penetration stacking, the HP. It's all juicy, juicy, fresh. Get your LP now. Nocturne, Darkness, Stridebreaker, Conqueror, Lethal Tempo, Sterex or Black Cleaver. Do your business. Please do like, share, and comment if you enjoyed and learned something. And as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial, which will be Monday. I'm going to try to get out another 2 before the end of the month. Efficiency.